Our loving and wise overlord, Joe Biden, wants to save us from menthol cigarettes. Lightning strikes happen. They happen more than you think. Power goes out, and power outages suck. Nobody likes to be plunged into darkness. Damn it, babe, the power's out again. So you got a choice. Just don't let it happen to you.
But Brian,
You may ask yourself with a goofy and irritating voice. Although I don't know why you would call yourself Brian if your name is not Brian.
how do I keep from letting it happen to me?
Get a freaking power bulb. So when the power does go out, and it will eventually go out, you're the only one in your neighborhood not banging your shin on the coffee table trying to make your way to the junk drawer to try to find a candle and that stupid lighter that won't work. Your power light bulb, real creative name, huh? Is a super bright LED light bulb that replaces regular bulbs in a standard fixture and stays charged up. When it detects a power outage, the LED comes on and stays on for over 4 frickin' hours. And no, it won't just come on by switching the light off. But check this out, you can unscrew the bulb and take it with you, lighting your way the whole time. Basking in the glorious light of the power light bulb. Damn, that was corny. Who authorized that in the script? So click the link in the description and be the only one in your neighborhood who doesn't have bruised shins. I got an idea. Go to powerlightbulb.com and grab a couple of them. Biden is going to save us from cigarettes. I don't know if you saw that. This is reported in the New York Post today. Biden administration expects to ban those dreaded, life-taking, family-destroying menthol cigarettes. Let me expand this for you so you can see this. Guys, this sounds good, and a lot of people might applaud this. So it's like, oh my God, this is a great thing. Government's going to step in and save us. The most terrifying words in the English language are still, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. You do not want this kind of force. If people want to kill themselves with a cigarette, by the way, cigarettes don't kill people. People kill people. It's like saying guns kill people. It's gun violence, so we need gun control. It's not gun control, it's people control. It's not gun violence. People are using gun as a tool to commit violence. These cigarettes don't kill anybody. People who smoke them kill themselves, and secondhand smoke is supposed to be just as deadly according to statistics. So it's people doing that. Cigarettes don't, get up off their shelves and release themselves from their carton and just start killing you. Joe Biden's going to save us from cigarettes. President Biden's administration is expected to announce this week a ban on the sale of menthol cigarettes in a move that will leave many Americans without their preferred flavor. You know what this makes me think of? When I think of cigarettes, especially individual cigarettes out of their packages, I think of Eric Garner. Eric Garner was killed by the New York Police Department for selling single unit cigarettes on the street corner to people who voluntarily wanted to pay for them. But I guess somehow that, in the minds of one Gestapo law enforcer, was enough to make him put a chokehold on Eric Garner and end his life because he was engaged in giving cigarettes to people who wanted to pay for them. Voluntarily, Government's not about the business of voluntary. They're about the business of compulsion. The new policy, and by the way, this word ban, that's criminalization of innocent people who haven't done anything wrong. When you ban something, you're telling somebody you can't have it, and if you try to get it, we're going to initiate force and violence on you. Anybody who bans anything is a violent one. They're just consumed with violence and the monopoly on force and power. And they want to take people who are innocent and grab and wring their necks and control them, because that's what government is all about. Not eloquence, not reason, it's force, it's control, it's power. Unbridled power, a monopoly on power, because if you try to rival their power and compete with them, they don't like that. Don't steal. The government hates competition.
The new policy would disproportionately impact black smokers. Does that mean creepy Uncle Joe who likes kids sitting on his lap is a racist because he wants to get rid of menthol cigarettes? Menthol cigarettes are used by more than 3/4 of African Americans who smoke. About a quarter of white smokers prefer menthol rather than unflavored cigarettes. Cigarette is the perfect example of dangerous freedom. Why would you want to inhale a carcinogenic compound? If to be consistent, if the government's wanting to make you bow down at the altar of Jabbo and roll up your sleeves and get a VA XX to keep you safe, why wouldn't they ban cigarettes? Go all out. Ban, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying if they want to be consistent, ban alcohol. You know how many people die from drunk driving accidents every year because they got it behind a wheel of a car and they, downed some jack prior to that? And now they're not in their right mind. They don't know where they're going. Are we on the center line? Is that a kid? Oh my, whoa. What was that, a dog? Or what did I just hit? Getting into accidents and carry on like a bunch of fools. But even then, you still don't want government involved in a prohibition on alcohol because you know what's more dangerous than freedom? Not having it. Not being able to make the choice. When somebody makes a choice for you and then you make a choice against what their choice was, and then everybody in society agrees that it's okay for them to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people because they disobeyed the rules. They disobeyed the political parasites and they should be punished. Tax evader, they want to keep 100% of what they own and what they work for, their blood, sweat, and tears. No, they need to be stolen from. They need to be extorted by the IRS, the biggest domestic terror cell in the world. We are crazy. This is upside down world. We are lunatics. This is our crazy world. And oh, by the way, you should always obey and submit to and bow down to your local, state, and federal authorities. What could possibly go wrong? Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. But the biggest problem humanity has is that we don't learn from history. Anonymous Biden administration officials confirmed the timing of the announcement to the Washington compost pile. Leading members of the Congressional Black Caucus have pushed the idea. They have? Then caucus chairwoman Karen Bass wrote in an op-ed last year, quote, as we continue to push to protect black lives, we must put an end to one of the most pernicious destroyers of black health and lives, deadly menthol cigarettes. What's this doing? It's anthropomorphizing an inanimate object. It's laying a human characteristic or trait on something that can't do anything in and of itself. There's no such thing as a deadly menthol cigarette. You could put a cigarette on your desk and it will never, ever roll over, jump up, reach out to kill anybody. It will never be deadly by itself. It only becomes deadly when people pick it up and start thinking it's a good idea to breathe burning plant matter, tobacco, and 204 known carcinogens into their lungs, gumming up their alveoli, filling their blood cells and their entire system with a bunch of toxic garbage. If you guys still smoke, if you still smoke in this age of the internet where you can find out at a moment's notice how bad cigarettes are for you, I don't know what to say, but I'll never force you to stop doing it because that's what you want to do. That's your dangerous freedom. That's your life that you want to waste or enjoy or however you look at it. If you want to put your head on the chopping block, who am I to say, hey, stop the guillotine. Don't put your head in that noose. Don't jump off that building. I mean, I could say that and be at a distance and go, hey, it's not a good idea to do it. Come on, can't we talk? At the end of it, you guys, it's your choice. If you're not free to put whatever you want to in your body, if you're not free to do whatever you want with your own body, as long as you're not harming or threatening or harm other people or steal their stuff or damage their property, then you're not free. Just come on, man. Come on. We don't want you to be free, man. We're going to ban cigarettes. Because, hey, we're from the government, man. We're here to do that. Come on, you know the thing. We're here to do the thing. That's what it's all about, man, is protecting people. Man, I love my fellow Americans, so I'm going to ban cigarettes. Ban guns. Oh, we can't say gun ban anymore. Let's call it gun safety regulations. That'll really throw them off because it's really still gun control, which, that's a euphemism too. It's really people control. But if we say gun safety regulations and we say we're doing this for your own good, it's going to diffuse the non-critical thinker anyway, because he's already stuck in the cement of his own cognitive dissonance. And he's already drinking the massive amounts of Kool-Aid that we've shoveled out to him over the years. And it's just going to completely throw everybody off who's not thinking. Gun safety regulations. What are you crazy? You're not for gun safety. And then they can mock you, make you feel bad, make you feel about that small. If you're not, it's like gun safety wait a second. You're not initiating gun safety regulations. You know what you are doing though? Under the guise of gun safety or gun control, which is really people control, you're trying to control us. And how do you enforce gun safety regulations? Let's think about this for a second. How does one enforce? Wait, there's force involved in that? Yeah, it's got to be enforced. They don't make rules and not enforce them. If you do that, hey, you can't have the sheep not obeying your rules. You're the ruler. If you're a ruler, you got to rule. And they got to submit. If they don't submit, they got to be punished. So how do you enforce gun safety regulations, which is really gun control, which is really people control? How do you enforce those gun safety regulations? Alex, I will take by the barrel of a gun for $200. That's right. Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. Put $200 on the board. That's right. The way you enforce gun safety regulations is by the barrel of a government gun. And if people don't comply, then said agent pulls the trigger of government gun and ends your life because you didn't comply with the political parasites. See, that's how it all works. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Leading members, so basically this person from this Black Caucus says, as we continue to push to protect Black lives, we must put an end to one of the most pernicious destroyers of Black health and lives, deadly menthol cigarettes. It reminds me of Nixon. We have public enemy number one, drug abuse, and we must put it down, so we're beginning the drug war, which really isn't a war on drugs, but you don't know that because you're not a critical thinker and you believe that political parasites are here to do you good, which we're absolutely not. But when I say war on drugs, I really mean a war on people, because after all, we're not putting a bag of cocaine into a prison cell, we're putting a black man into a cell. And now we have a legalized slavery system called the prison industrial complex. But you don't know that because you're not allowed to question it, and if you do, then you're a conspiracy theorist. That's how it works, brother. So, we need to protect people from deadly menthol. I almost said methanol. Menthol cigarettes. It's unclear how long menthol users would have to brace for the transition. It's like, God, stock up, cigarette. Hey, okay, here's the deal. Whenever there's a new round of gun control, which is really people control that they're now calling gun safety regulations, what happens with guns and ammos? Guns and ammos. What happens with guns and ammos? Hi, you, Mikey. What happens with guns and ammos? Babe. I don't know. I need to stop the meth. I need to stop the menthol. Menthol, not meth. Menthol. Is that a bug in my face? Is there a booger on my nose? Can I feel it? I don't know. Is that my lip? Where was I? Adreno. Don't say the rest of that. The algorithms will pick you up and smack you down. Boy, I'm here to tell you. Deb Scoop says drugs are very bad for you. Ban them. Oh man, where was I? All right. Anyway, it's somewhere between Nixon and Fauci. I don't know. So let's read. It's unclear how long menthol users would have to brace. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When they ban anything, what happens to guns when they talk about this gun control, people control, gun safety regulations? What happens is guns start flying off the shelf. Ammo prices go through the roof because people are like, we better stock up, man. We better stock up. The best gun salesman probably in 2019 and 2020 was Beta Male O'Rourke when he said, hell yeah, we're going to take your AR-15s and your AK-47. AK-47 and AR-15 sales through the roof. Best gun salesman of the year, better than anybody at the NRA possibly could be. So when Biden's talking about a menthol cigarette ban, those are going to be you're not going to be able to find them. Oh my God, menthol cigarettes better stock up for the next 20 years. And then I bet you anything they're hooked in with the tobacco companies because guys, listen, it is like a formula. If we start talking ban here, then prices are going to go up here. It's almost like people who are against guns are actually for the gun lobby, which, you know, I'm not saying anything good or bad about that because there's mostly bad. But what I'm saying is, even people who are against guns, it's almost like they're working for the gun manufacturers, because now they're like, hey, give me a Democrat in office, man. That increases my gun sales 350% last year. I love beta male O'Rourke. Heck yeah, I can't even make ammo fast enough. These charlatans. It's like counterintuitive, you know? It's unclear how long menthol users would have to brace for the transition. Stock up. Cigarettes are going up. Those cases, you're going to see this empty. You're going to see Marlboro, Salem, Pall Mall, or whatever it is. And then you're going to see this empty spot where menthol used to be, because everybody's stocking up, man. Everybody's like, Biden's going to ban it. Baby, when you pick up the eggs, bread, and milk, could you get 250 cartons of menthols? 250 cartons? Heck yeah, man. That's currency. It's like with the toilet paper shortage or a generator shortage when a hurricane comes through. People are like, hey, hurricane's like 14 days out, and since most people are lazy, I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy all the generators and then put them on Facebook for $100 markup. Or that guy, what was it, hand sanitizer? He had to rent all these storage buildings to put all his hand sanitizer. Hey, you know what? That's, I don't know. People don't like that. But it's a fact that there are opportunists, and politicians are the greatest opportunists on the planet, the greatest, scummiest, parasitic opportunists. It's unclear how long menthol users would have to brace for the transition. Other recent reports indicated that the administration is exploring a separate policy that would require tobacco companies to lower the nicotine content in cigarettes. You think they're going to do that? That's all smokescreen stuff, man. They don't want to lower the nicotine content, because then you wouldn't be addicted to them. Then you wouldn't be jonesing for that next cigarette. They got to keep that stuff in there. You want to talk about a powerfully addictive drug? Caffeine and nicotine tops the list. Ain't nobody trying to ban that yet, or hasn't been. Maybe I shouldn't give them any ideas. It's like, hey, did you hear what that Grease Monkey Videos guy said? You know, like there's going to be this kind of conversation in the White House. Yeah, we have great respect for what that guy says over there. Long-haired hippie, probably does drugs, but for the most part, he has some, maybe 1% good things to say. Maybe we should start banning nicotine and caffeine. That's a good idea. I'm going to call the coffee growers and the tobacco companies before we do it, so they can brace for the profits. And tell them they need to give us a cut. About 13.7% of American adults were smokers as of 2018. Really? Is it really that high? Is it still really that high? Man. A dramatic decline from more than 40% in the mid-60s. And not dramatic enough. You would think it'd be like 1 or 2% go, yeah, you know what? These are cancer sticks. What's the best I can get out of this? Shorten my lifespan by 15, 27 years? And then at the end of my life, the quality of my life, I might as well be dead. I can't get out of the bed. I can't go to the bathroom without hawking up a lung. Higher taxes and educational campaigns about health consequences like lung cancer and heart disease played a role. In the past decades, many smokers transitioned to electronic cigarettes. That's dangerous. Have you looked at that? You can be breathing in like little glass shards. If you're smoking, why smoke at all? Why treat your alveoli like that? Those alveoli are those little tiny sacs at the end of your lungs that deliver oxygen in your bloodstream. Look at this. Look how fragile these things are. You want to gum those things up? Let me see. Alveoli. I think that's how alveoli. What are alveoli? Son, I think it's a fish. I think you can cut that thing open and get some pretty good protein out of it. No, Dad, the alveoli. Not avoli, the alveoli. What are alveoli? Look at this. The end point of the oxygen in the oxygen chain in the respiratory system. Look at this. Who wants to lose that? Who wants to gum up the capacity for your body to deliver life-giving oxygen to your bloodstream? I don't get it. I mean, gum it up with anything. I mean, it's those white lines that you see in the clouds that really aren't there, because if you think they're there, you're a conspiracy theorist and you're just a complete whack job, and you need to go ahead and get out the saran wrap and surround your head and put the tinfoil on. Which might not be a bad idea these days. I mean, it looks more sane than wearing a ritualistic shame muzzle in 98-degree weather to me. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy, though. What are alveoli? Endpoint of the respiratory system, exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide in the bloodstream. I'd say that's vital. I'd say that's vital. So while I don't condemn you, I ask you why. Why are you still doing it? Why did you trade cigarette smoking for vape? And maybe it's a transition. Maybe it's like, you know what? Because there are withdrawals. I mean, from what I've heard, withdrawals can be a son of a buck.